Hey cinephiles, 2021 is in the rearview mirror, and 2022 looms large on the road ahead. A new year full of aspirations, possibilities, and new films from some of our favorite filmmakers. Here on Cineflect, I like to kick off the year by staring down that road, squinting at the movies on the horizon, and curating a list of my most anticipated. The criteria is simple. Which films am I most excited for? As a lifetime subscriber to the Auteur Theory, I gauge my hopes on the director's filmography. In my experience, this is the single best indicator of whether or not a film shows promise. But there's another factor to consider. As we enter a third year plagued by an ongoing pandemic, the already changing tides of film release dates have become a swirling sea of uncertainty. Case in point, nearly half of my list of most anticipated movies of 2021 were not released in 2021. The situation was even worse in 2020 when 6 of my 10 picks were delayed. In an effort to prevent this from happening yet again, my official list this year is only going to include films that have a firm release date here in the good old US of A. Everything else is up in the air as far as I'm concerned, and I'm fully aware that even those with a release date could still be pushed back. Until we live in more certain times, I suppose we should just plan on the unplanned. Stick around after the countdown for some honorable mentions and a stacked list of what I'm calling prospective contenders. If the circumstances are right, I may even revisit this subject of anticipated films later in the year. Alright, let's start the countdown of my 10 most anticipated movies of 2022. Mr. Lynch, take it away.
10.
Elvis. It's been a while since we've seen a new film from stylish and visionary Australian filmmaker Baz Luhrmann, whose last feature was The Great Gatsby in 2013, a gift to GIF senders everywhere. Announced in 2014, Luhrmann's next project is an Elvis biopic. For most, this would seem a daunting undertaking, but I put my trust in the man responsible for what I consider to be the best musical film of the 21st century, Moulin Rouge. After a star-studded search for who would play the king of rock and roll, the spotlight rested on Austin Butler, who you may remember as Tex in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I'm the devil, and I'm here to do the devil's business.
Tom Hanks will co-star as Colonel Tom Parker, Elvis's manager. The production was not without its difficulties and had to be shut down when Hanks infamously contracted COVID in early 2020. But the shoot has since wrapped, and Elvis will be entering the building on June 24th.
9.
Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. One of the most bizarre yet brilliant films in recent years was 2016's Swiss Army Man, aka the Farting Corpse movie. It was the feature-length directorial debut from Daniel Kwan and Daniel Scheinert, a filmmaking duo known as the Daniels, who rose to fame through their insane music videos. Our bodies have been waiting for their next film together, and Everything Everywhere All at Once sure looks like it will live up to the hype and its name. Michelle Yeoh stars as a woman existing across multiple universes in a sci-fi action movie produced by another directing duo, the Russo brothers.
Wow, that looks really good.
Keep your googly eyes out for Everything Everywhere All at Once after the film's premiere at South by Southwest this March.
8.
Mission Impossible 7. This film made my list last year, so I'm pretty much going to summarize what I said then. I am a huge fan of the Mission Impossible franchise. For the first 5 outings, I loved seeing what unique qualities the change of directors brought to the table. But star and producer Tom Cruise bucked that trend when he re-enlisted writer-director Christopher McQuarrie for a second serving in 2018's jaw-dropping Mission Impossible Fallout, the most successful and critically acclaimed film in the series to date. It makes complete sense then that Paramount would go ahead and announce the 7th and 8th installments, with McQuarrie returning to write and direct both films. Unless things change, which they tend to do these days, the plan is to get Mission Impossible 7 on September 30th, followed by MI8 on July 7th, 2023.
7.
Nope.
No.
One of the most intriguing career pivots in recent years was comedian and actor Jordan Peele becoming a horror film director with a tremendous debut, Get Out, for which he won Best Original Screenplay at the Oscars. He followed it up with Us. While less successful commercially and critically, I thought it showed Peele growing in promise as a director. On July 22, 2021, Peele unveiled the film's poster on Twitter, giving us the title, a release date exactly 1 year away, and a single image of a cloud on a stormy night, with a kite-like tail backdropped by a city and mountains. There's also a single tree. Your guess is as good as mine, as we still don't have a plot synopsis. It's a rarity these days to know this little about a studio film only 7 months away. But we do know that Peele has re-enlisted Get Out star Daniel Kaluuya, fresh off his Oscar win for Judas and the Black Messiah. The talented likes of Keke Palmer and Steven Yeun co-star. The poster also promises that select sequences were filmed with IMAX cameras, and Variety confirmed that Hoyt van Hoytema, the go-to cinematographer of a certain Christopher Nolan, is shooting the film. It sounds like this will be Peele's most cinematic film to date, and I cannot wait to see what nightmarish hilarity he has dreamt up this time. Universal Pictures will be releasing Nope on July 22nd.
6.
Avatar 2. 13 years after Avatar became the top-grossing film of all time, the first of 4 planned sequels is finally on the horizon. Whether or not you're a fan of the original, there's no denying that whenever James Cameron makes a blockbuster, it's a pop culture event and often a groundbreaking milestone for the medium.
I'm the king of the world!
Sam Worthington, Zoe Saldana, and even Stephen Lang are returning from Avatar 1, but the cast is adding heavy hitters like Michelle Yeoh and Kate Winslet, who is re-teaming with Jimmy C after all these years.
I'm the king of the world!
Hell to the yes, sign me up, take my money, and take me back to Pandora, baby. 20th Century Studios, now owned by Disney, will be unleashing Avatar 2 on the world come December 16th.
5.
The Batman. After a very spotty track record for the DC Extended Universe,
What does that mean?
Warner Media has decided to start another shared universe, beginning with yet another version of Batman. But where I trade my exhaustion for excitement is writer-director Matt Reeves, who helmed Cloverfield and the 2 Planet of the Apes sequels, which I personally count among the best blockbusters of the 21st century. As if that wasn't enough, my boy Robbie Patty stars as the Batman himself, Bruce Wayne. Rounding out the exuberant cast is Zoe Kravitz as Selina Kyle, aka Catwoman, Andy Serkis as Alfred Pennyworth, Jeffrey Wright as Lieutenant Gordon, Paul Dano as the Riddler, and an unrecognizable Colin Farrell as Oswald Cobblepot, aka Penguin.
I got you! I got you!
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
This is hands down my most anticipated superhero film of the year, and will be here soon enough when Warner Brothers lights up the bat signal on March 4th.
4.
The Fabelmans. In 2021, Steven Spielberg released what I consider to be his best film in over a decade with a remarkable remake of West Side Story. Next up for the world-famous filmmaker is possibly the most personal project of his career. It follows an aspiring filmmaker growing up in Arizona, loosely based on Spielberg's own upbringing. For the first time since 2001's AI, Spielberg has co-written the script with his recent collaborator, Tony Kushner. Gabriel LaBelle will star as Sammy Fabelman, the stand-in for young Spielberg. His parents will be played by Paul Dano and Michelle Williams, with Seth Rogen playing his favorite uncle. Julia Butters, who memorably held her own against Leonardo DiCaprio in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, will play Sammy's sister. We've seen a string of artful directorial autofictions in recent years, from Roma, The Souvenir, Pain and Glory, Belfast, and The Hand of God. Here's hoping The Fabelmans is worthy of their company when Universal Pictures releases just in time for Thanksgiving on November 23rd.
3.
Tar. Todd Field is a name seldom heard these days, outside of whatever happened to Todd Field. It's a fair question because the writer-director of 2 great American dramas, In the Bedroom and Little Children, hasn't made a film since 2006. He ranked number 2 on the list of Ion Cinema's top 10 American indie filmmakers missing in action. His absence was not for lack of effort. After over a decade of trying to get ambitious projects off the ground, Deadline broke the news last year that Field would finally be going into production on his next film. The magnificent Cate Blanchett stars as Lydia Tarr, a world-renowned conductor on the brink of recording the most important symphony of her career. I can't wait to see Blanchett in this role and a brand new Todd Field film on the big screen. Focus Features will unveil Tarr on October 7th.
2.
Babylon. After the incredible run of Whiplash, La La Land, and First Man, writer-director Damien Chazelle is returning with a period piece set in the golden age of Hollywood. Specifically, the late 1920s when the industry was transitioning from silent films to talkies, the same tumultuous time captured in the classic Singing in the Rain. Brad Pitt and Margot Robbie star, which made my brain spit out Once Upon a Time in Hollywood 2 Electric Boogaloo. Chazelle is an incredible talent, obsessed with both film and music, and I expect to see and hear that passion in the theater when Babylon arrives on Christmas Day.
1.
The Northman. This is another holdover from my 2021 list, and my excitement has only deepened, fueled by the badass trailer released in December. Scandinavian actor Alexander Skarsgård stars as Amleth, a Viking prince on an epic quest for revenge. If you've seen the trailer, you know his mission: avenge father, save mother, kill Fjolnir. The foundation of this top placement is writer-director Robert Eggers, whose perfect track record of The Witch and The Lighthouse has already made him one of my favorite filmmakers working today. It's fitting that he's reteaming with actors from each of those films, Anya Taylor-Joy and Willem Dafoe, rounding out the cast with Nicole Kidman, Ethan Hawke, and Björk, who is contractually obligated to appear in all Icelandic productions. My fellow eggheads and I, that's what I'm calling fans of Robert Eggers, don't have to wait long, as the long ships will reach the banks on April 22nd.
Shut up and take my money!
And those are my 10 most anticipated movies of 2022. You may be wondering why certain films were not mentioned. As I said in the intro, I did not include films without a specific release date. So here are the films that could have and probably would have made the list if their 2022 release was solidified. I'm calling these the Prospective Contenders. Can you imagine if all of those films came out this year? 2022 would be a legendary cinematic harvest. For now, I'll remain cautiously optimistic. And if that's not enough for you, here are some extra honorable mentions, mostly Hollywood fare. Even with all those prospective contenders and honorable mentions, there's bound to be something that you're looking forward to that I failed to include. So please let me know. Share your picks and/or list of your most anticipated movies of 2022 in the comments below. I'll see you down there. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to Cineflect for video essays, film lists, and more.
I got this!
And click that bell next to the subscribe button if you'd like to be notified anytime I upload a new video. Thank you so much for watching. For Cineflect, I'm JS Lewis. Until next time, watch something good.